This is Erin. This is
Jessica.
Jessica Duell.
Hi.
The date is August 15th. It's Korea's Independence Day from Japanese occupation. My dear friend Jessica and my neighbor, she lives down the street from me.
Indeed.
We're the only two Weigukens, which means foreigners, in this not in this neighborhood, on the street. Well, we're two of the three. Or one half.
Very few of us.
Part of the few.
Mm-hmm.
So she's leaving. She's near and dear to my heart.
You're leaving too.
I am leaving as well. And perhaps we'll do an interview with me sometime. But right now, I'd like to interview Jessica about her time in Korea so it can be documented forever on the World Wide Web.
And maybe used to blackmail me one day.
It's also kind of like insurance, social insurance.
Indeed. Okay.
Okay, so Jessica, please tell us, how long have you been in Korea?
I've been here 16 months.
Okay, so how was Korea? So what brought you to Korea?
Originally I came here because my best friend was living here as a teacher, and I lost my job and was on unemployment, and I received a severance package that bought my plane ticket for a little vacation.
Mm-hmm. And then you just liked it and stayed?
Yeah, I just kind of fell into work and decided that I would stay 3 months and then stay 6 months, and then why not make it a year, and then after the year was up, I thought I'd just see how much longer I could stay.
Has that, so you're here on a tourist visa?
Yes, I'm on a tourist visa.
Has that presented any challenges in your working relationships?
Yeah, I can only have a job for a few months at a time. So.
I'm sure that has its pros and cons.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because I get really attached to my children, and then I have to leave. And then I get new children, and then I have to leave. So that makes it difficult.
Okay, next question. How was Korea different from your expectations? Well, first, let me ask. Have you ever been to Asia?
No.
Have you ever been... Oh, she's a Canadian.
Hi.
So you'll have to forgive her if you can't understand. Maybe we should move the microphone closer. Have you ever been outside Canada?
Yeah. I've been to Europe and Cuba and America. And I've been all the way across Canada. But no, I've never been to Asia. So my expectation of Korea was basically like bright lights and neon signs and not understanding anything and just a lot of people and not a lot of nature. I didn't expect a lot of nature in Asia. I thought there's too many people that would take away from nature. So.
There are a lot of people.
Indeed. There's more people in Korea than Canada.
Wow. And do you know that Korea's landmass is the size of Kentucky?
Indeed.
Yeah. 60 million people on land the size of Kentucky.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
It's quite densely populated.
Indeed. But we live in a nice, small area of Korea.
Yeah, it's actually, well, we can skip ahead a few questions. Describe where you live. So where do we live?
We live in Jinhae, which is in the Gyeongnam-san province.
Yes.
And it is a very small town. I say town, it's a city, but...
it's about 100,000.
It's about 100,000 people. Originally, Jinhae was one of like the last parts of Korea, because it's in the very south of Korea, to become like modern. So, for example, it was until like 25 years ago that women could get their driver's license here.
Really?
Yeah.
Only in Jinhae?
Yeah, in this
Oh.
Yeah, in this area.
How do you know that?
I used to tutor a woman who's lived in Jinhae her whole life. She's like in her 60s.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you were saying that you expected Korea to be lots of people?
Lots of people and like bright neon lights and signs and like things that I just wouldn't understand. I didn't expect it to be like as westernized. I thought that streets would be different and like you know, it's very similar in the sense of like, you know, streets are kind of laid out the same way, and neighborhoods are kind of set up the same way, and it's really easy to be around, despite the lack
Super
of
easy to
English.
get around. Actually, someone was asking me, Trent, our friend Trent, maybe we'll do an interview with Trent also. But Trent was asking me what I would miss about Korea, and the first thing I said was public transportation.
Yeah, it's real good.
Yeah, you can get anywhere you need to go on the bus for like $1. If it's after 11 when it stops, you can get a taxi. It's super
Like
cheap.
that.
So, like that. Except sometimes when it's raining, not like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, super cheap, and you can walk. I've never lived somewhere I can walk. Like Jinhae, where we live, we can walk.
You can walk. I walk to work and back every day.
Yeah.
Not that it's far.
No, but I've also never lived somewhere I can, like, living in Reno and Los Angeles,
Right.
you don't walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I was trying to get you to say, but I'll say, is that there's lots of nature around us.
Yeah.
And because I had a similar expectation of Korea just being, like, super modern and urban.
Yeah, that was the big thing.
City. And I think in Seoul or in Busan, which is the other big city, you'd get that. But just right up the street from us, you're in the mountain. You walk 10 minutes and you're in the mountains.
Jinhae's really pretty. Like, on one side is the ocean, and then on the opposite side is the mountains. And then you either go one way and you reach one city, or you go the other way and reach another city. So it's very, like, unique in a sense of its placement. It's right on the south coast, and it's kind of, in a nice little area. But, yeah, I like it. I've stayed here past my 3-week expectation. So
Yeah, it's 15 months past it.
yeah.
So Jess, describe your typical day at work.
Oh.
What's your typical? We should also say Jess works a lot harder than I do. So just to give some perspective, maybe you go and then I'll go.
My typical day at work currently, because this is my 3rd job, I go to school early and I greet all of the kindergarten children that are aged 3 to 6, and I go to all the different classes and I tell them good morning and I welcome them to school, and I also say hi to most of the parents that drop off their kids.
And what time is this at?
I go around 9:30 to 10 o'clock in the morning. And
That's
then,
early for Korea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I go early to school before class starts, and then I have a meeting every morning with my Korean and foreigner teachers, and we discuss the events and things that we're doing that week. And then I teach anywhere between 8 and 11 classes every day. So I teach usually 5 kindergarten classes, and then I go into elementary and I teach 5 or 6 elementary classes. So I teach from 10:30 in the morning until about 7:30 at night. And I have an hour in between, and then when that is finished, I will stay usually 2 or 3 hours after work, prepping my lessons and making my tests and making my arts and crafts and marking diaries and doing all of that stuff that you have to do when you're a teacher.
So you work, but what time do you go home usually?
I try to get a lot of the work done at the beginning of the week because I'm most energized. So I usually work anywhere between 12 and 14 hours a day, Monday, Tuesday. And Wednesday I get off a little bit earlier, so I'd like to get out on Wednesdays, and then Thursday maybe I will often stay at maybe 12 hours, and then Friday I'm out on time.
So she works a lot, the girl.
Yeah, I do. I don't have to. I choose to.
Jessica's one of those really awesome teachers that loves her job, who's really well suited for it, who can handle the kids.
Yeah, I'm really into discipline. Like, my children respect me immensely and do not cross me at all. Like, I start off real hard, and then they kind of know better than to step out of line. So.
Yeah, and this is something I want to do, but I'm just so I just don't have the energy to, I don't know. some people are really well suited for teaching English as a foreign language, and I think Jessica is. I'm not as much, but again, this interview is about Jessica, so we'll focus on her for now. But just to give you some perspective, my work day is from 1:30 until 8, and then I go home. Like I go to work at 1:30 and I go home at 8. So it's much less time. We work at different schools.
Yeah.
I work at just an English school, like only English tutoring, and Jess works at it's everything.
Yeah,
right?
it's like the biggest Hagwon, which is a public school in the area, and it's specialized for students to go there to go to like really high-level high schools. So we have math, science, and computer science, and English. So the kids are there for 4 or 5 hours a day in elementary. And then we also provide one of the most difficult kindergarten programs, because there's a lot of nursery school kindergartens in the area, but they have to like pass quite the test to get in, and they're only 3. So it's pretty intense. It's like an immersion, like English immersion. So my kids do not speak Korean in class at all. So,
which is cool because I feel like not having them speak Korean, you'd have much more control in the classroom.
Yeah.
Versus ours is just like, and I'm like, stop talking. But like ours is much more. My school is much more lax. It's more of a joke, not a joke. Some kids do learn, but it's not. Hers is like very.
Yeah.
You come, you learn,
strict.
You study. It's very strict. So there's pros and cons to that as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I feel as a teacher, your job is harder. You have to work harder, but you see results.
Yeah, you definitely do. Like, I teach a lot of the higher level classes too, so I demand a lot out of them, and so like especially with their writing, because I make them write a diary every week, and it has to be a full page, which you think is not difficult, but you're writing a diary in English, which is a different language than your own, about a topic that I'm really specific about.
Is this your middle school, or do you have high school?
No, this is my elementary school.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay.
And so even in like the short time of like making them do the diary, I've seen their writing improve, and just like they're being comfortable enough to express their opinions, because that's what I'm trying to get them to do, is have opinions and communicate them in English.
Which can be difficult, and maybe we'll discuss this in a different video. But the Korean education system really doesn't teach them to have opinions. Like, it's the opposite. It's like, don't think, just memorize.
Just memorize.
Just memorize, and regurgitate.
And don't be creative.
Don't be creative. Don't analyze. Don't think critically. And so it's very different from the Western model, when we're taught that these are valuable skills. And so trying to implement them in the classroom, when I give them questions like, what would you do if? Teacher, that's not going to happen. Or like, teacher, no. Because their brains don't even go there, because they've never had to go there.
Yeah, that's why I take the time to like carefully plan lessons, so that it's more easy to integrate that kind of expectation onto them.
Yeah, because you have to do it the right way, and not just throw a question at them and they're not going to know.
Yeah.
So it's good, and there are also Korean books that are helpful.
Lots of books.
Lots of books.
But I like it. I like being teacher.
Yeah.
I really love my small children, especially my babies. So
yeah. See, like the youngest we have is 9, so I don't have the joy of kindergarten and preschool.
The cleaning up of everything that comes out of a child.
Ha! Well, I did do that back in America. So Jess, what's your best memory about Korea? You've been here about a year and a half.
My 25th birthday. Because I had a beach party with all my friends, and it was the first time it didn't rain on my birthday in 25 years. And they knew about my childhood thing that I used to write messages in bottles and send them out to sea. So they all wrote little messages and put them in this little bottle on scrolls, which inevitably ended up with me being inspired to get my Korean tattoo.
Show us your tattoo.
It's It's far away. It's on my foot. Oh, it's opposite.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Don't get seasick.
But it's a scroll.
And it has a Korean writing on it.
It has the
What does it say?
Jame,
Jame.
which means sister.
And you got that with another one of your friends, right?
Yeah. So one of my closest friends here, who's no longer here.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi, Brittany. Talking about you and Lauren. She'll get hers done. We're sisters. So.
And one thing we should know, in Korea, if you have a friend who's older than you, you call her your sister.
Yeah.
So like, Ani?
Ani. Is
Ani.
older.
So even like, I have a Korean friend who's 21, and even Ani, she'll say, Ani.
Yeah.
And it means, and brother is Oppa. So if you have a friend who's a boy, whether you're a girl or a boy, an older man,
Is Oppa.
Oppa,
Yeah.
which translates to brother and sister, but you're not really your brother and sister. It's a phrase, it's just what you call them.
Yeah.
So how about your worst memory?
Well, because I've had to go from job to job, I think my worst memory has to be when I was fired from a job that I really didn't expect to be fired from right away. And in that time, I was really devastated because I didn't think that I would be able to do some of the things that I really wanted to do, like go to Bali.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Because you didn't have enough money.
yeah,
And,
yeah. So I was just really devastated because I had worked really hard. I was the only teacher at that school. My boss fired the 2 other teachers, and so I was working 8 hours a day, teaching 2 classes simultaneously at the same time without a break.
Was this in Jinhae?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what school was this at?
Bugs Club.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know you worked there.
Yeah,
okay.
I worked there. Yeah,
Hmm.
and
There's some really horrible bosses.
yeah, she tried to be cool, but yeah, that was a pretty, because she fired me, and then kept me, and then fired me again. So it's really like a difficult time.
Koreans do a lot of illegal things with really no remorse and no.
I'm illegal, which is why I said about the blackmail, because I'm not supposed to be working here. I'm a volunteer. I don't actually get paid.
Okay. Do you have any regrets?
Yeah. When my best friend moved to Busan and I decided to stay in Jinhae, I at first would go to Busan a lot because my other best friend came and they lived together, and then I started to build my own community of friends here in this area, and I neglected to give my closest, oldest friends the time that I should have. And that caused quite the rift in our friendship, and then one of them left pretty suddenly, and we were never able to like mend our relationship because I never put in the time because I was putting in time with other people.
Right.
So I don't necessarily regret that I put in time with other people because I love my friends and my sisters in Korea, but I do regret making those older, closer friends, not closer, but those older friends I'm really close to, feel neglected.
Or they went back to Canada?
One of them did, and one of them's still here.
Okay, what sort of advice do you have to a new teacher first arriving in Korea? One word of advice.
One word.
Or a few, but I think we need to... This can only be 12 minutes, so...
Okay, how much time?
I don't know, but...
Okay. New teacher advice?
New teacher advice.
Good luck. And if it doesn't make sense, you're in Korea.
A lot of things don't make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your future plans after you leave?
Before I leave, I'm going to do a 10-day meditation, and then I'm going back to Canada, and I'm going to be a nanny, And
She's
then
going to be such a good nanny.
I'm really excited too. And then off to Cali for Christmas, and then we'll see what happens. Maybe
Cool.
the apocalypse.
Maybe. Okay, last question. What have you taken away from Korea? Like, what have you experienced here that you'll take with you in the next phase of your life?
Oh, that's a big question.
It is a big question. That's why it's the last one. I can entertain if you'd like to think.
Yeah, give me a
Okay.
second.
No. Let me show you what Jessica took for me, because she's a great friend. We went to the Noraebang. Keep thinking. I'll explain. We went to the Noraebang, which is like a karaoke singing room, and they have them in Korea, but it's just one room. And just you go with your friends, and there's a big screen, and you pick the song, and there's karaoke. And they had this thing, and it's so awesome. And Jessica was like, "Here, put this in your purse. Take this with you." And I thought she wanted me to take it for me, or for her. But really, she just knew I would like it.
Yeah.
So let me show you it. Wait, let's get the full effect.
Okay.
Oh my god!
You could just
That's
have
right.
a dance party all the time.
Okay, it's almost 1 a.m. We probably shouldn't be tambourining.
Oh shit.
It's 12:30.
Okay.
This is gonna be so good for Burning Man, or for life.
In life.
Burning life.
Okay, what am I taking away from Korea?
Uh-huh.
I'm taking away beautiful friendships.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking away my newfound identity and being a better person. I'm taking away appreciation for respect. And
Oh, that's a good one. Appreciation for respect.
and I'm taking away a lot of things that I hope that I gave back to my children.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, Jessica, thank you.
Thank
the
you. The interview.
Yes.
Don't blackmail me.
Of course not. I wish you the best of luck, although I'll be seeing you
Yeah.
for another few weeks.
We'll be around.
But now you know all about Jessica's experience in Korea. And
Not the typical
no,
experience.
because most people come here with a job lined up already, so she's definitely had a very unique experience. But I mean, that's life, and everyone has their own unique experiences.
Yeah.
On that note, thank you,
Thank you.
and have a good night. Jaga!
Bye. Jagayo.
Jagayo!